the House has new rules that are not the same as the old rules. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Declaration of Truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. Two exciting things happened yesterday. First came the release of the 13th Twitter files. I told you about that this morning. Second came the adoption of the rules of the House of Representatives for the 118th Congress. This last was important because it could have gone disastrously wrong, as some feared it would. But the rules package that 20 holdout representatives negotiated with eventual Speaker Kevin McCarthy of Bakersfield, California, not San Francisco, passed. By all accounts, it passed as negotiated. The howls of anguish from some quarters suggest that this could be a significant achievement in redressing and redeeming constitutional government. Before I take these new rules apart in detail, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. Be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there. Especially this t-shirt that I have chosen for today, which quotes Aldous Huxley as saying, "Facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored." One more thing. If you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also click the bell icon to get a notice every time I come out with a new one. In fact, do you see the new icon, the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the Super Thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do, so long as it's legal tender. Now then, reportage on these new rules comes from the Daily Caller, the Daily Signal, Creative Destruction Media, and two reports from John Solomon's Just the News. One of these two reports held a link to a draft analysis of the new rules. I have that link in the description. Kevin McCarthy, of course, had to agree to these rules to persuade enough Republicans to let him become Speaker, one way or another, by voting for him directly or by voting present and thus lowering the bar. At 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time last night, the House of Representatives passed Resolution 5 to adopt the new rules. The vote was 220 to 213 with one Republican absent. I have a link in the description to a 9-second video of the final tally and Speaker McCarthy actually appearing triumphant as he rapped the gavel to put the period to the announcement. All the Democrats, plus Representative Tony Gonzalez of Uvalde, Texas, yes, that Uvalde, voted no. The absent representative was Dan Crenshaw, the one-eyed wonder, who also comes from Texas. I have a link in the description to Laura Loomer's tweet razzing him for this. She had been worried earlier that the rhinos would cut these new rules up, but the rules passed. And here is what she said, quote, "Just in, the House has passed the Republican rules package. Republican Representative Dan Crenshaw of Texas did not even vote on the package, abdicating his duty as a representative. Can we primary this rhino already and stop making sympathy excuses for him just because he has one eye? Time for him to go. He's useless." Unquote Laura Loomer. And you have not been insulted until you have been loomered. That was a loomering. But that wasn't the worst of it for Crenshaw. The House Steering Committee passed Crenshaw over and chose Representative Mark Green of Tennessee to head the Homeland Security Committee. And now I'm going to tell you what is in those House rules, now that you can find out what is in them apart from the fog of party infighting. Sorry, couldn't resist. But first, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is oursilverlines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You're not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Now, whether you just want to collect rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities this company provides, either way, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit oursilverlines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. Excuse me for a minute. Now, let's see what's in those rules. Well. A motion to vacate the chair, also known as a Jeffersonian motion, requires only one member to move it. An increase in the national debt ceiling requires a separate vote. The Gephardt rule, after Representative Richard Gephardt, Democrat from Missouri, which deemed the debt ceiling raised in the passage of any budget resolution, is now null and void. Tax increases, which must originate in the House of Representatives per Article 1, Section 7, Clause 1, require a 60% supermajority of the House. All bills must cover one subject only. Omnibus bills will now be against the rules. This requires every Democrat to have to own every department have its own budget bill. Pay as you go gives way to cut as you go. The rules now forbid increases in mandatory spending within 5 or 10 year periods. Members have a minimum of 72 hours to read all bills. Dynamic scoring of spending and revenue impacts replaces the static scoring that prevailed before. People do change their behavior with differences in tax rates, and dynamic scoring will reflect this. The Holman Rule, allowing Congress to cut programs, cut salaries, and fire people, returns to full force and effect. Goes back to 1876, actually. The House Judiciary Committee will gain a subcommittee on the weaponization of the federal government. And the rules provide for votes to block taxpayer funding of reproductive services. You know what I'm talking about. Among other conservative priorities. Well, the lefties squealed like stuck pigs over this. MSNBC correspondent Tim Miller left this bitter tweet. I have a link in the description. Quote, Kevin gives the keys to the kingdom to the Freedom Caucus arsonists, and there is just one no vote from the moderates. Tells you everything about the current state of the Republican conference. Close quote. Arsonists, did he say? Hey, the Democrats are out to burn the American house down, not the Republicans. But I don't expect you ever to understand that. And if you dispute what I say, leave a comment. Others have. Another user, whose Twitter name I won't even hint at, was even more bitter. I have his link in the description too. He says, quote, no, Kevin is one of them, and now they are all Russian assets working for Putin to keep America from giving arms and money to Ukraine and to cause havoc in our government and country. Russian assets? Hey, I have already shown that Ukraine was nothing more than the Democrats' money laundry until FTX crashed. And now the $1,024,000 question I'm sure you're all asking. What does this really mean moving forward? Well, the immediate practical effect of this rule change will likely be deadlock between House and Senate. For that, blame Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. He could have taken the Senate, but didn't. But in 2024, 22 Democratic senators will be up for re-election. So the campaign to embarrass the Senate and highlight what is wrong with the Democratic-controlled Senate begins now. It began yesterday when House Republicans voted as one to defund those 87,000 new IRS agents for which the omnibus bill provided. Every bill like that is another opportunity for you to call your senator and urge a vote in favor. And every vote that any senator casts against it is another black mark on that senator's record. Remember, in 2024. More to the point, those new House rules ensure that the Democrats can't pass any more spending programs. The real test will come at the next budget time. Remember, all bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives. Article 1, Section 7, Clause 1. Link in the description of the article, to the 12-page rules change analysis, to the video showing the final seconds of the vote, to Laura Loomer razzing on Dan Crenshaw for being absent, to the tweet accusing the House Freedom Caucus of wanting to burn the House down. Oh, that was rich. To the other one calling them Russian assets, to my Declarations of Truth Twitter account, and the Conservative News and Views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and to oursilverlives.com, as I also mentioned. You know already about how to like a video, turn on notifications, and leave a tip. On the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link to my channel and links to my previous videos about this historic speakership that took 15 votes to settle. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.